Hey guys, how are you doing? This is Kim Douglas coming to you from Prosperous Property Investments. Just coming to share a couple prosperity points for you guys, help you out a little bit in your life, help you out a little bit in your business. Yes, I just want to share this amazing topic with you guys today about the power of persuasion. Hey, thanks for popping in. But yeah, the power of persuasion. I just saw this video today on YouTube, and it was from a video named Influence at Work channel. I had to remember, I couldn't remember. But it was pretty cool. It was pretty neat. It was kind of, the video was done and kind of, you know how they do the cartoon graphics and they kind of talk over the cartoon graphics. But just the way that they put the video together made it very easy to understand the concept of basically the science of influence, of persuading people is what they were talking about. And that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. So really quickly, I am going to share this in a group or two, and then we'll get some more people coming on here, and we will talk about this in probably about a minute. So as you're coming in, go ahead and let me know how your day is going today, how you feeling. Drop me a line, as long as it is a positive one. How are you doing today? What's going on in life? Let me know how you're feeling right now. Let me know how you're feeling. And we're going to get this thing started right. You know, I'm always excited for the weekend, but I'm always saying too that you got to learn how to duplicate this same feeling on, every other time during the week. You got to be excited about what you got going on, excited about life, excited. Got to be moving forward. Yes. Okay, so let me share this in a group. Bam, did that. Okay, so we're going to get started, and I do have a couple of notes, so I'll be referring back to them, right? So he gave 6 tips in this video, right? So 6 tips, and like I said, the title of it was Secrets from the Science of Persuasion. So if you are in business, if you are marketing anything, if you have anything to offer, right, you need to learn how to persuade people, in an ethical manner. That's basically what you're doing. You have a product, you have a service, you want to convince other people that it has value, and that they should purchase it from you, right? So that's basically what you're doing, is you're persuading your customers to, want to work with you or want to buy your products or your services, right? So he said 6 quick tips, that are kind of like a shortcut in getting people to, like I said, be persuaded by you and what you're talking about, so that they'll believe in what you have to say in order for you to make the sale, or in order for you to get a new customer or client. So the first thing is reciprocity. Basically, so people feel obligated when, say, you give them something, or they receive something from you first, and then they feel obligated to give you something back. So they want it to be reciprocated. So that's basically what that reciprocity means. I can't say it. But that's basically what that means. They want that same feeling reciprocated. So he gave this example. So if you give somebody, or somebody gives you something of value, right? Or somebody says, "Hey, come to my party," So they invite you to their party. And when you have a party, or when you have an event, next time you feel almost obligated to invite that person into your space, into your party as well too, because you feel like, hey, they gave you something of value before. You feel like you need to reciprocate that. This is part of how, our clients and our customers are persuaded. You're giving them value. And after you give them value, people feel like, oh, I want to reciprocate value back to the person who gave me value. So that's, basically reciprocating, right? So the second thing was creating scarcity. So when you're trying to persuade, creating scarcity does help with that persuasion. So say all of a sudden this product or service is available, people are buying it, people are getting it, then all of a sudden it's in short supply. So we all know how that works, supply and demand. Do you think that people are just going to stop buying it? No, that's going to make people want it more because they feel like if they don't hurry up and take into this offer or whatnot, that they might miss out on something. So you're creating a scarcity effect, right? So he gave a pretty cool example about this, and he said that there was an airline who had like a really popular flight in between, the UK and New York or something like that, like a direct flight. And they used to do it several times a day, and they cut the number of flights in half. So the next day, the sales did not decrease, but they actually increased because people were scared that, look, if I don't take advantage of this, they might get rid of it for good, So like, let's give them the feeling that we are still interested in this and we're still wanting this so they don't take it away completely. So that scarcity is helping to persuade people in the right direction, right? So the third thing was authority. They said that people follow people that have, like credibility, that they're considered to be knowledgeable experts, right? So they said that one key thing, it's important to show your authority and your credibility before you try to sell to someone. Not after, so you got to do that in the right order. You got to build up that value so that they see you, like I said, as an expert, and then want to contribute to your value, So provide authority. So people follow leaders, basically. Follow the leader. If you are a sense of authority, you're going to have people who follow you and reach out to you for your help, for your knowledge, for the products and services that you offer, right? The fourth thing was consistency in persuasion, right? So basically for this, you want to, you're looking for people to give smaller commitments. With being consistent, you're looking for people to give smaller commitments to you instead of large commitments. It's almost like you don't show your whole entire hand, right? So you want to show your clients and your customers a little bit of what you have and what you're offering and gradually increase that as they're more comfortable, right? So he gave this awesome and amazing example that, and this was about a neighborhood, right? So they asked the people in the neighborhood, hey, do you mind putting up these bandit signs? And everyone's seen a bandit sign. It's just a little sign that, like, say someone's running for office or there's a city, there's something that you want the neighborhood to know, you put it up on a bandit sign, right? So they asked all the people in this nice neighborhood if they would agree to have the bandit signs in their yards. And they were like, no, we don't really want that in our yard, But then they asked another group of people in a nice neighborhood, just like the other one they tested, and they asked them to put a small card in their window that would represent, okay, safe driving. We want people not to speed through our neighborhood. So they asked the people in the neighborhood if they'd be willing to support by putting up a small card instead of putting up a bandit sign in your yard, which is pretty big, So they agreed to put the small cards. Most people agreed to put the small cards in their window. And then when those people were asked, hey, since you guys have already done this and it's working, you guys see that by having these cards in your window, people aren't speeding as much through your neighborhood. Would you mind putting these bandit signs now in your yard? And they, people said yes. More people said yes because you got them to agree to something smaller than something that was big. Like, essentially, don't be too overbearing up front. You got to work your way in, right? So the fifth thing that I learned about persuasion today was the liking factor, right? So people prefer to say yes to people who, they are similar to. So there's three things about liking, right? So people will prefer to say yes to you if they feel that you are similar to them, if you give them compliments, and if you are cooperative, if you can cooperate with them, right? So people like people, So they gave another example of when you're selling and you're marketing. They had two groups of marketers, right? So the first group was what they told the group to focus on was, okay, basically time is money, get straight to the sale, don't waste any time, just go straight in with whatever you're offering, right? And they said in that group, only 55% of people were able to come to an agreeable term. So they were actually 55% would have actually been able to close a sale. They did a second group study, right? And they told people to basically focus on building rapport first. They said, find something similar that you have with the person you're talking about and talk about that first, then go into your sales presentation or whatnot, or try to get that person to agree. They said that 90% of people in the second group were able to come to an agreement because they found something that they liked about each other. They found something that was common. They found something that was similar. That's like building that, know, like, trust factor. You don't want to just jump in and say like with the first group, time is money. I'm just going to hit you with the gusto and hit you with all of my products, all of my services without even getting to know you. That's a big mistake, So they said you got to be a little bit personal and get to know the person, find something you have in common before you just start going into talking about business. Because like I said, people like working with people they actually like, right? So power of persuasion, right? So another thing is going to be, the last thing actually is consensus, right? So people look to the actions and intentions of others sometimes to determine their own results. So say, they want to have the results, you know what I'm saying? So they want to know how this has worked for other people, right? They gave a really cool example about staying in a hotel, right? So the hotel's goal is for you to reuse your towels during your stay. So they gave this example about the hotel will suggest that you reuse your towels during your stay, right? And they'll give you the reasons why. Oh yeah, it saves on water, it helps the environment. So they're telling you why they want you to take this action, right? But they say they got a greater result if they switch those words around. So they figured out how many people actually in their stay did reuse their towels, right? So instead of saying, hey, we want you to reuse your towels, they changed the wording around and said that, 75% of other people who have stayed here have reused their towels, right? So based on that result of, okay, this is something that others are doing, that others are, helping out with, I want to help out with as well too. So the same thing goes in your own business and when you're trying to market things to other people, giving the results of others. Well, I sold this product and this service to this person over here, and this amount of people had this great result. So they're relying on the results of other people to help. You're relying on the results of other people's success to help you persuade your customer to see the things that you are talking about, to see things in a manner in which you're talking about. So I thought that these videos, the video was really interesting. You guys should watch it. Like I said, it was called Secrets from the Science of Persuasion. Pretty great video. You should watch it, right? So I'm going to go through those 6 things again. You want things to be reciprocated, when you're trying to persuade your customers, they want things to be reciprocated, meaning if you give them value or they give you value, they'll feel obligated to do the same for you in return, right? You want to create scarcity. If people think that the product or service is not going to be available and they find value in it, they're going to buy it. They're going to buy it more, so you have to create curiosity and scarcity, right? Authority. You have to be an authority figure in order to persuade your customers, and they have to see you as an authority figure before you try to sell to them. Okay, the 4th thing is going to be consistency. So this is basically getting people to agree to smaller commitments first before you ask them to agree to a big commitment, right? The 5th thing is going to be liking. When you're trying to persuade your customers, you got to realize people like them, the know, like, and trust factor. So you have to work on, being more personal, creating rapport with people before you try to just jump in and persuade them to buy from you, right? And the 6th thing is you're going to come to a consensus. Basically, you're going to use the results or the success of others to help persuade your customers. I hope I did a good job of explaining that. Also, check out the video. And if you want some more information about learning how to persuade your customers, learning how to talk to them in a manner in which they're receptive to what you're offering, go ahead and click the link in the description box above for more details and more information. Just want to say, you guys, thanks so much for coming, for liking, commenting, and sharing. And I just want to tell you guys to have a prosperous day and or night on purpose. Take care. Bye.